All right, so let's take a minute to talk about like expanding our minds and expanding our thought processes. Because I feel like if you're going to be successful as a creator, that is something that you really need to do if you're not already doing it. A lot of us creative people already kind of have just like a different like thought process and thought level that we kind of work with and operate on. And I'm not saying that we think better than anybody else or that our thought processes are superior. They're just different.
So different.
And different in a way that if you can leverage it as a creative, it will bring you so much benefits. And some people, I feel like when they start their creative journey, haven't fully realized how to think on that more creative scale and how to think on that grander scale and understand things more from the perspective of a creative and less from the perspective of just kind of a regular person going about their day. And so I had a conversation the other day about a concept that honestly kind of really bothers me whenever it comes up. Something that comes up a lot. And I'm not saying that anybody's wrong or right in this situation or that one thought process is better than the other, but I just wanted to address it because I think it really nails home the differences in thought processes for practical thinkers versus creative thinkers. And so my brother was bringing up this concept of rich people and how they complain about when they have so much money that there's nothing to do and they get bored and, oh, woe is me, I'm rich. And I really don't like that philosophy for like obvious reasons. When you have like an entire society that is unable to barely even afford food and shelter, and then you have these rich people who are like, oh, I'm so bored because I have so much money. Like, not only is that just unlimitedly frustrating to hear and to deal with, but it's also like, for me, for a creative individual, I'm not doing bad by any means in this life. I'm doing quite well for someone who's just kind of doing the average working person life scenario. But with all that considered, there is a limitless amount of creative things and projects that I would love to do in this lifetime that I have to come to terms with the fact that I will not be able to do them in this lifetime. And the one thing that gets in my way from being able to do all the creative things that I want to do with my life before my time comes to an end is money. It's always money. And it's always going to be money. And so for someone to say, oh, I have too much money and it's boring, I'm like, well, send some of that money my way, because I could do an unlimited amount of things with it. And I don't even need all of it. Just give me a portion of it. And so this idea that wealth doesn't solve all your problems, or that wealth you'll get bored because there's nothing left to strive for in this life, I just don't buy that. And I think it comes from a fundamental misunderstanding or difference in thought process. Because for me, like I said, there's a limitless amount of things that I want to do in this life that I know I can't do because of the monetary insufficiencies that I suffer from. And so like, I would love to be able to build a team and make my own video games. I think that's something that my creative direction would do really well with, but I can't because I don't have enough money. I would love to write more books, but I don't have enough time to write books because I have to work a full-time job because, again, I don't have enough money. And then I would love to make multiple animated shorts or cartoons. I have my own cartoon on YouTube, but my brain's got a million different ideas of cartoons and TV shows that I would love to produce and I would love to make and I would love to share with the world. But I can't because I don't have enough money. And so you see, that's where the fundamental crutch of this thought process comes from, because from talking to my dad and my brother about this concept, their minds immediately went to travel. And they're like, well, you know, once you've seen the whole world, there's nothing left to see. So you get bored and you get into drugs, and that's what happens to famous people. And I'm like, that is like such a simple way to look at things that you can leverage money on. And again, it's not to say that it's wrong or right or anything. It's just they're looking at things under the microscope of what is practical, what is here and what is now and what is in front of them. And the societal thing to do, to brag about, or to show off on is, and for some reason always has been, travel. And they're like, go out and see the world and see everything the world has to offer and experience the world, and you will be a cultured person. And that's wonderful. I have nothing against travel. I myself am pretty homebodied. I don't get out as much as I probably should, and I should see a lot more of the world. But when it comes down to, like, if I had $4,000 to take a vacation versus $4,000 to hire a voice actor that's famous and well known that will help me out on Compression Man, I'm gonna spend that $4,000 on the voice actor, because that's the creative thing that's more impactful to me, and that's where my mind goes of what I can do with that money and what I can benefit from that money. And so just understanding the bigger picture of things, the bigger things are and the bigger that they are going to be, and how you can leverage your thoughts to continue to be successful in a multitude of ways. And like, just take Elon Musk, for example. People have their thoughts about him. He's a political figure in this modern market. I get it. I'm not saying he's good or bad. I really don't believe in American politics, but Elon Musk has a lot of money. And did he just sit down and be like, oh, I'm bored, I'm not gonna do anything? No, he thought creatively and he's like, I'm gonna buy Twitter and I'm gonna do something with that. I'm gonna create my own car and do something with that. Those are huge things to strive for. And he is someone who is leveraging his mind and his brain to think in more creative ways to leverage his wealth, other than just, I went out and saw the world, now I'm bored. Like, that's a waste of resources, that's a waste of time, that's a waste of energy, and it's just very frustrating for someone who's like me, who has a million different creative projects that I would love to share with the world, but I just cannot afford to make them, whether that be even not just money, but just time. Like, the time it takes for me to write all the books that I have in my brain, I would probably take me like 40 years, and at 30, I'm not sure that I have another 40 years left in me, but that's like the reality that we face. So trying to kind of rein this all in for y'all so you can understand what I'm getting at is, as a creative, as someone who's creating something, you do have to think a bit differently than the average person. If you're trying to promote your work on a social media platform, you're trying to get in front of people, you're trying to get people to watch it and pay attention to what you're doing, you've got to have that creative mindset. Don't be stuck in the rut of, oh, there's only so many things I can do with this life. Oh, there's only so many ways I can promote myself. Oh, there's only so many ways I can show off my work. Oh, there's only so many ways I can tell my stories. There is an infinite amount of ways that you can do any of those things, and an infinite amount of ways that you can spend your resources if you have the resources to spend. Just think creatively. Like, if you're going down the pathway of being a YouTuber, being a writer, being someone who creates anything, like, you already have the foundation for that creative mindset. Jump off from that foundation and build up into something that you can then use to leverage for your platform. And so that's like the core concept that I want to get across here in this video is, you gotta think, and saying thinking outside the box, that's a cheap and cheesy way to say it, but you've got to think creatively. Don't let your thoughts be limited by what's popular in society today or what's popular on the market. Most people, especially creative people, who blow up into a significant amount of success did so because they did something that was different. And then after they set that standard of what's new, what's cool, what's hip, what's different, everybody else is just following behind them. And the followers will never be as big as the person who started the trend. Again, just you leverage the creative thoughts. Do not let the drudgery, if that's even a word, do not let the drudgery of life cloud your judgment to where the only thing you can see is the stuff that's right in front of your face. Like, step back, see what the world has to offer, see what you can leverage with what you have and what the world is offering you, and go there and do it. And don't let people say these things like, oh, well, it's just that simple, or just do this, or just do what everybody else is doing. Like, use your creativity, think bigger, think grander, think outside of the scope of what's immediately in front of your face, chase your dreams, and be a fantastic creative person. I thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you on the next one.